in the company that you are going to perform number of tasks in a day. Suppose you are the infrastructure manager and you are going to perform number of tasks. So could you please tell me that what is the right approach for the migrations? Because you don't know which is the right approach. What is the step 1, the step 6, step 7? If you're going to implement, if you're going to migrate the networks, if you're going to migrate the networks, the application sort of steps, then what steps you need to follow it? The step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So that is the thing the TOGAF will let you know that which the steps you need to follow it. Step 1, this is things you need to be followed, okay? Create a plan, create a strategy. And task number 2, take the backup. Step number 3, check the version control. Is there any version, what different versions, different operating systems, different network structures is all about. The step number 4, what is your architecture design have you developed? Okay. The step number 4, what are the different resources availability in front of you? How are you going to migrate the things? The step number 5, which is the right resource is going to work on the right work. Okay, so subject matter expert you required, same stack. So this this is use cases we're talking about into this particular TOGAF, that which is the right things you need to perform in the COBIT frameworks. So ITL, COBIT, and the TOGAF, these are some frameworks which is going to tell your company that, tell your enterprise that what is the right approach, what is the right practice to get the business schools objectives achieved. Because you are infrastructure manager, you have your different KRA and KPI, okay, key responsibility areas. But all those KRA or whatever you're going to perform on the company, which is, it is we can say that it's you're going to implement in the companies or not. It is objectives of the companies which is going to be performing or not. This is the matters of lot. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: you are perfect infrastructure manager is all about, but the matter of fact that you need to work on what the best practice is all about. Am I right?
Yeah. So basically, as you said now, as you explained, like migration part. Okay, take an example. Migration part, as you said, like first you should have a plan, and you should know how many days the complete activity to take. Say like it is a 2 months work from this to migrate to that one, and which is compatible, and which methodology to be used, or which it's a like the existing performance, how it is, and taking the backup and all, coming the latest step, like when you see the existing performance and this, and then when you migrated also you are expecting better than this or the same as it is. So you are migrating from a particular like little to big. Little means like a Linux operating system, or here AX Windows operating system. The application database, everything is running on the stuff. You want to migrate to different operating system and server and more spec or data to hexadata. So that means you will get the higher performance you are looking for. Why you are migrating? Whether it's a necessity when you are migrating, whether you want another version, or the same version, or your expectation is only the cost reduction. So matter of so many things will come into the picture just in a migration. So one is time, how long it will take. If the second is cost, and third is the time, cost, and third is the vertical, like how you are going to do, or what are the technology, or going to the same existing as it is to migrate to something else, or something new to come into the picture, these things. So based on once this clarity you come, and then based on that we will design the architecture for the migration purpose. So you know the existing architecture, you will prepare the migration architecture also. You prepare that there how it should be, the high secured, more security than here. It's an example of migration. Okay, recently I have done a migration for on-premise to the cloud. So on-premise, the customer what they are looking for is minimize their cost, and their data should be secured. So such a case, okay, you understand, okay, they don't want to spend, okay, in 5 years they are spending for the hardware this much, and software this much, and support this much, and this many employees for maintaining the team. So you are migrating to the cloud to reduce the organization the cost altogether. So when you are migrating to the, okay, yeah, this is not possible with this version, you will change to the different version, and there we can make it in virtualized, no need to higher price. First you will see this performance is enough. If it's not enough, you can increase the performance by, like, in Oracle terms, the database can be run in the uh, bare metal or virtual machine or Exadata. Exadata and Exalogy is very powerful machine. It's very fast. So this all will come under one migration. It will come all these stories, like all these inputs will come. So based on imagine that the recent one is done, the migration altogether, say like in 2 months time. So in 2 months. 2 months time when you do the migration, okay, we are giving the structure for the
This is operation side. Okay.
Hello, your voice is not audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Call me. There is an IT person call me. So I give the download link. He downloaded. Even I was in the editor. He downloaded. He said he will follow the document. If there is anything, he will call me back. Then I think it's fine. He done it.
Okay. So it should contain a set of tools and provide a common vocabulary.
Yeah.
Should also include the list of the community standards, compliant products, and can be used to implement the building blocks.
Sorry, Mahesh, you are talking to me or somebody else?
I'm talking about you guys.
Yeah, well, I was talking in between. I guess it got disconnected, or you were able to hear, or I don't know, because I can hear Rafiq is talking.
Yeah, it was some issues in the audio. That's why.
Sorry.
It was the issues in audio, so that's why we couldn't hear your voice clearly. That's why.
Okay. So basically, what you got my point, right? What I was explaining.
Yes, I understand your point of view, SK,
So
because
I'm asking here, when we do this, when this is migration part, I didn't use any of the framework or anything. So it was a small one, um, um, like how I can utilize, how I can use the framework or whatever the TOGAF, into this one, like even the migration, So the same things, the same points what you explained, I've gone through that. But I at the time, I know, as of now, like, and I don't know anything about TOGAF, but still the work happened and done. Okay, so now I want to, I want to make it in a way how it can be used. Yeah.
SK, I also want to raise some points to you that actually what we discussed, that all the activities are performed from my side. But actually, if I am not wrong, please correct me. Actually, this is not building the new architecture. This is that migration from one architecture to another, one architecture to another area. Like, I have a location A in my data center, but my components architectures are same. Now I want to move to that location B, maybe a cloud or different location from place A to place B. So this is an existing architecture. What we are doing is the migration, right? So in this case, what we will do, the data level migration first we have to do, like using the golden gate. It depends. Our data depend on the rows.
One second here. That's what I told you. As of now, the recent migration, what we have done, or I have involved, or I have done, is an existing one to the cloud. Yeah, our customer is in the Muscat in Oman. They have a data center in their own building. They wanted to move that to the cloud. and
Yes,
the
so
cloud,
yeah,
the
it's clear.
cloud.
Okay, it's clear.
Yeah,
So
so
that actually
same
that
existing one. So what I was asking to Mahesh is like in this migration part, migration is done. I never used any like this frameworks or something like that. We were explaining and the architecture
yeah,
design
yeah, it's
by the
good. It's
traditional
good.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, now
so
you are
I'm
we are the
asking
same
him
page. We
how
are
yeah, I'm asking him how I can utilize the TOGAF and how the TOGAF is going to help me. So he
great,
can
great,
correlate
great,
and
great.
tell like that. So it would be
Yes,
nice
yes,
to
great, great,
understand.
great. See,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, SK, actually, as per my understanding from the TOGAF, actually, I was reading for some time more. Okay, actually, now today what we are discussing is migration from one the architecture to another architecture with the same, same domain and everything is same, like ERP to ERP, right? Now forget about just flush it out everything, not ERP. Now you join to that new projects. Okay, you join to new project. It is the entirely new domain. It is entirely new for you. Now we have to build the architecture. In this case, TOGAF is a framework. It will support you to build the new architecture, okay, based on their policy, based on their framework. So they will guide you how to design the better architecture. The architecture means it's not like simply making a firewall and drawing the diagram like switch and server. It's not like that. There is some policies are there. You have the great knowledge in ERP, okay, so that you know the complete architecture of ERP. You can migrate at any environments or any governance, right? Any government or any company. Now what I'm saying is, okay, if I'm not wrong, you are an Oracle ERP, right? Think about SAP or something else, something, or if you're moving to the banking domain. Okay, in that banking domain, okay, now you want to redesign the architecture. So TOGAF will help you to design the new architecture with the current current scenario, with the current goal, as well as that should be the continue for the in future. That should be extendable. So that this is what my point. Yes, Nagesh, if I'm not wrong.
So
The matter of fact that guys, we have separate, a topic for the migrations we am talking about later on. But the matter of fact that this migrations point of view, we have, the same device or same components level migrations, or we need to do some different type of migrations like cloud, like infrastructure to cloud infrastructures. So we have some different type of, migrations we need to talking about once we going further into the slides, okay, in when the topic will be coming on the migrations. So I provide only that the different skill set that what you're going to perform on the migrations part and the development part or integrations part, okay. At the deployment parts, what is the right approach you're going to be understanding into the TOGAF environment, that yes, you want to be working on different areas like infrastructures. So you have ideas, the technical point of view, you have ideas, but what is the right approach to doing without failure? Architecture definitions need to be adopted by the companies. So these sort of things you need to be understand, because the enterprise architectures or architecture frameworks, it is going to tell you that what is the right directions to develop in a disaster based architecture designing. So once you consider this enterprise architecture or architecture frameworks, you need to understand what is the cost benefit and cost effective solutions, and how efficient your resources is going to working once you're going to create the architecture designing. Okay, so we have.
Okay, in this case, actually, Mahesh, okay, actually, I hope you understand that concept, right? Like, one day, for example, one fine day, your CTO will call you. He will say, okay, I have a project. Okay, this is the project. This is the client. This is the business for the project. This is the goal of the project. So that give me the architecture. So in this case, we have to refer the TOGA how to achieve the great, how to achieve the very good architecture. There is some framework. This is what the TOGAF is saying. I am trying to explain. Please, Mahesh, if I am wrong, please correct me.
No, it's correct one, my dear friends, because you working professionals, you have done different ideas, you have approaches available. Yes, I can understand that you have worked on it and you expose all sort of things. But right now, if we talk about some TOGAF frameworks, this is going to help you out into increase your knowledge. Suppose you have fair idea about it, how the things gonna working. Okay, and TOGAF is going to help you out what is the right approach to doing the right things at the right time.
Okay.
Okay, so it should also include the list of recommended standards and compliant products that can be used to implement the building blocks. So the matter of fact that guys, you are infrastructure managers, you know that how to create infrastructures, how to create architectures, but this architecture as per the compliant, as per the standards or not. Suppose you are going to perform any architecture designing uh, on a healthcare domain, or we can say that oil and gas service domain, or um, uh, the payment card industry domain. Okay, so the payment card industry domain, PCI DSS or HIPAA compliant are the standards they are going to follow it. So once you're going to creating the architecture designing frameworks, your architecture should meet the standards of the company's compliant. Does it make sense? Suppose companies are using PCI DSS compliant or HIPAA compliant, so your security or your architecture designing, you need to be considered that this is, you know what, helpful into the compliant. This is, you know what, helps the compliant that suppose PCI DSS companies are required the firewalls. The firewalls required IDS, IPS sort of stuffs, right? So the matter of fact that your firewall and the services, the licenses are the part of the standards. So once you're going to creating the architectures, it is very important to understand that your architecture is, you know what, helps the standards, you're compliant or not compliant. Okay, and it should also
So,
contain a set of tools and provides common vocabulary. Yes.
Mahesh, what I understood from you, like it's like organizing the things what you are doing, what I am doing right now. With the TOGAF, I can organize it in a way, and I can see the it is meeting the company requirement and the compliant with the certain policies and all the stuff in a industrial standard, right?
Yes, yes, you're perfectly fine. So I will
Uh,
going to provide you
so
some one slide. First, just take a look. In this first,
yeah.
in the first slide, you have just taken the parliamentary. Okay, this parliamentary. So prepare the organizations for a successful architecture project. So the matter of fact that if you're talking about the parliamentary requirements, so if you're going for architecture designing, first of all, you need to understand what is the scope, what is the constraints and expectations for TOGAF projects to create architecture version and business context. So the business context, you need to understand like what is a compliant, what is the legal, what is the governance, what is the compliance is all about. Once you understand the compliance like HIPAA compliance, PCI DSS compliance, then you can create
What
architecture as per the required things.
No, what does that mean? And I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the terms. Okay, the compliance, what you're talking about, and governance. These terms I'm not familiar, but um,
Okay.
um, yeah, that you can a little bit more clearly tell so that I will understand. Because based in what I am assuming, like okay, as I told you, like industrial standard or
Yes.
company standards to meet, the best practice to meet. All these things are mean by the terms, whatever you are saying. But if you are not familiar with the particular architecture or particular product or particular things, so you don't know anything about that part. Say like before Rafi was telling, like actually yesterday I am doing for the ERP solutions, and tomorrow I'm going to do for the bank. So for the bank, their requirement solutions. For that, the basic things maybe I can see this is meet as per the TOGAF, this is meet or not, but I cannot give a solution on that part because I am blind on that part. That is correct, right?
Yeah, ERP solution is a software, my dear friends. It's not a technology. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you
No,
worked
no.
on the exactly software sort of stuff, because if you're talking about some Splunk is one of the softwares, SOR some softwares, so we have different software based. Okay, so if you're talking about this, the TOGAF environment or business context environment, we're talking about the technologies, we're talking about like
Okay.
cloud environment, or it's a infrastructure environment, it's the application department, architecture, or it's a database architecture sort of stuffs. So different technologies we're talking about it here. It doesn't mean that you worked on the ERP solution that all things will be the remain same, because different companies have different solutions available.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you go through the TOGAF and uh, when I okay, imagine like I'm certified with the TOGAF now. Okay, so I will. Do you think that I will be able to manage any sort of any sort of company architecture design, or as an architect I can work?
Yes, sure, definitely. You have good exposure on the architecture of the infrastructure level. So the matter of fact that you need to change the approach, you need to understand the best practices only. What is the right
Yeah,
approach to doing the right thing? You are
yeah.
doing
So
it,
what?
it's okay. But
Yeah.
how effectively you're going to do it, this is the matter. This is the TOGAF is all about.
No, no. On what I am asking, I'm not talking about what I am doing. I'm talking about once I certified with the TOGAF, it will help me to understand and to do in a systematic way, or the methodological way, or the certain things like architecting for a company, anything. Forget about
Yes,
what ERP or anything. So e- here, other than TOGAF, I need to know the which area I'm working. That area knowledge also I should have enormously. Otherwise, it will be difficult, right? That's what I'm saying. Even the
yes,
infrastructure, or even
it will gonna help you out in every domain. Don't worry about it. You're working on
yeah,
infrastructure level, it's okay. It's okay. You have some information about the infrastructure level.
correct.
But
Yeah,
TOGAF
and
is
if
going
I'm
to
work,
help you out the architecture of everything, like business
yeah.
architecture, information system architectures, technology architectures, opportunities and solutions, migration planning, implementation governance, architecture
So
change management. So each and every
correct.
domain
So
will be, you will get a knowledge.
yeah, that means different resources like me. So another person is Rafi is in a different skill set, so he can also utilize the TOGAF and do his work in a better way, like that, right?
Yes, definitely.
So not like Rafiq and me, we both took TOGAF, so we both will do the same work. You cannot do like that, right? Your
Yes,
expertise in different area, his expertise in different area, and me and Rafiq is not both are not eligible for a particular position in a company. It depends upon other skill sets also, I guess, right? To
yes, you're sure, definitely. Because the matter
what
of
I
fact
said is
that
correct.
you are
Uh,
working in different areas, I'm also working in different
yeah,
areas, Rafik is also different areas. But once
yeah.
we're going to do TOGAF, so TOGAF is going to provide us what is the right perfections in the architecture designing platform.
Okay, okay. Not like we three took a TOGAF certified, and we three can apply for the same job. No, right?
If you're talking about the job prospects, it depends on the companies that what type of previous experience do you have. It's a certifications.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, this is
it's a
what I was talking
certifications.
about. Yeah,
It doesn't,
correct, correct.
it will help you to get the enterprise architecture platforms going to create. But talking
It
about the
depends on
job
the
prospects, in the
yeah,
previous
because
experience exposure, you will get a jobs.
correct, because the company will be looking an architecture for that company suitable with the enough experience also on that particular technologies, right? Correct,
Yes,
right?
because the different companies are different platforms, the different domains, they are looking for it.
Correct, correct. Okay, now I clear. Because I was getting keep on confusing. That's so no problem. Yeah. So
Okay, no problem, no problem.
yeah, thank you. And you can explain more that the terms, some terminologies I am not familiar, like governance or framework. I don't know really the TOGAF framework. What is TOGAF framework itself? So you can take me as a baby, and then the
Yeah,
terms
sure,
in that in
no
terms of
problem with this.
governance. This one terms. Okay, technical
Yes,
terms.
I can understand. Yeah, I
Okay,
understand your point of view on the same.
okay, okay.
Because you know
Also
what?
here, actually, Magesh, I have one clarification. What that SK said, if you know that all of us have the TOGA certification, so that but the technical skill sets are there is a differences between us, so that in this case, this might be the added advantages. Like for example, okay, now for example, you done the PMP certificate, okay, PAP certified is a project management plan certified. You know that this will be applicable for even all the vertical, right? Even civil, mechanical, computer science, IT project based on you know that everything. So that I think it is similar. Like if you done the TOGAF, that is the set of policies and set of framework which you can apply in the all the domains. Not the technical skill set will be the secondary, not the primary. So it means like suppose if my company assign me to okay you have to handle the ERP architecture, yes I can if I done the TOGAF. Okay, because the technology might be different, but the architecture policies are we are referring the TOGAF, right? Suppose if you want to join the banking, okay, you can go and join the banking domain. So because in the market I cannot see there is a TOGAF experts, TOGAF architecture. Say there is architecture for ERP solutions, architecture for banking solutions. It's not like that. If you see any job description, they will say, okay, we need the TOGAF certified architecture. Banking experience may be advantages, pluses, right?
Yes, you're right. Yes, it is happened because once you, SK shared to me one of the job descriptions. In the job descriptions, mentioned that enterprise architecture. So yeah, it's the same platform which you are going to study right now.
Oh, okay, go ahead, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so the value of framework so provides a practical starting point of architecture projects, avoids the initial
So
panic
actually, we are
when this.
discussing about tires, right? The 2 tier, 3 tier.
Yeah, okay, 1 year, 1 year, 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier, at different locations. Okay, so once you go into implementation of the cloud, okay, in the company, so company suggests that if you're going to implement a cloud in one locations and the if you're talking about the business continuity plan, okay, is there any flood or any tsunami will be coming over there, then your data center will be crashed same point of time. So you know what, your data will be crashed and your business will be going to the pain. So that is why we need to create some the tier 2 architecture. So tier 2 architecture, it means that we require some different locations, one other locations to you know what, so one location goes down, is disaster will be happen, then another locations we have available so that we can going to recover your data. And if you're talking about the 3D architectures, we have 3 locations, one location, 2 locations, 3 locations, and the database is going to be sync all 3 locations. Suppose we have 2 locations goes down, then you can going to recover the database from the third location same time.
Okay, so here the talk of terminology which you are saying that tire architecture means is the location, right?
Yeah, locations, and we have some more different aspect about the technical frameworks. Like suppose you have 2 tier architecture or 3 tier architecture, so you require some power stations of different locations, different states,
Okay.
right? So I will let you know all these things, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 in both you know what, in well defined structures. I will going to define it later on. So right now we're going to go for you know what, the systematic confront common sense, captures what others have found in the work in real life, contains a baseline set of resources for use. So the matter of fact that guys, the value of frameworks in the architecture's projects avoid is initial panic when scale of task becomes apparent. So once you have frameworks, you have systematic approach. What is a systematic approach? You have systemized everything. Okay, suppose if you are have aware about the any incident will be happen, so incident management, then problem management, then change management, then configuration management, release management. These are the step-by-step concepts going to be working. So it's a systematic way how you want to work. Suppose in the you are infrastructure managers, is any incident will be coming, suppose your network goes down, server will be crashed, and a number of things, then you're going to be perform some sort of steps. Okay, so step-by-step approach is there, captures what others have found on the real life, and contains a baseline set of resources for the use. Okay, so that if you're talking about some frameworks, contains a baseline set of resources for the use. We can want to use, and it's a real time work in real life.
Mahesh,
Yes.
Mahesh, I think SK is out. He has some issues. He says not able to join in the WhatsApp.
What's up?
Yeah, in the WhatsApp message you mentioned that he can't able to join. He says some issues. From here I can, from my side, no issues. I can hear you. I can see your screen. Everything, no issues.
Okay, perfect, wonderful, no problem with this. So, guys, what we can do, we have over the time because I have also scheduled for another class
Yeah,
for
okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
cyber security. So, the schedule for today is cloud security today. So,
Okay.
I'm just going to wrap up the class for today, and tomorrow we will going on the same time, right?
Okay, tomorrow same time, right? Tomorrow what time?
Tomorrow at same time in 7 p.m. India.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you, SK. Thank you for time, guys.
Okay, thank you. So that I will update my SK in the WhatsApp. No issues. Go ahead. Thank you for
Okay,
your time.
perfect, perfect.
Thank you.